Good morning.
Yes, yes. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Students, all students, first year, second year, all students. Come on fast. Aniket. Sanjana, Shweta, first year students, open your cameras.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on fast.
Finance. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Financial planning. Personal financial planning. Yes, sir.
Students, open your cameras. Sakshi, Divya. Pratiksha. Rohit sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Abhijit sir,
Ma'am, it's done, ma'am.
please open your camera, sir.
Hello, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, sir. Please open your camera.
Yes, yes,
sir.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I visible now?
Yes, you
Hello,
are
all.
visible, sir.
Yep. I can see
So-
some faces from the examination as well.
Yes, sir. So let me start the session.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
So, on behalf of Matrix Schools of Management Studies, I, Dr. Harshali Gomase, welcome to our today's honorable guest, Professor Abhijit Khurape, sir, and the students of MBA first year and second year for a session of essential of innovation and entrepreneurship under the 4 dimension lecture series which we have started for the students from last 2 years under the guidance of our honorable director Dr. Satish Ubale sir. Sir, the main purpose to start the 4 dimension lecture series is to motivate the students to improve their skills and knowledge. Now, I welcome to our today's guest, Professor Abhijit Khurape, sir. Sir has done his MBA from Amravati University and completed his PG diploma in business management from Pune University. Also, sir pursuing his PhD from Pune University. Sir has 17 years experience in academic as well as industry. Currently, sir, as an assistant professor at AISSMS Institute of Management and honorable secretary at IEEE Pune section. Also, sir is honorable secretary at Pune Management Association. Sir has participated and published his research paper in national and international conferences. Also, excuse me. So I request to our today's guest to take the charge of the session.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. Can I share
Yes.
my screen?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Just a minute. Okay. I hope my screen is visible now to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. First of all, it has been said that the we must express our gratitude towards all the opportunities we are seeking, to the God, to the people around us, and all, right. So I take this opportunity to thank Shilpa Kulkarni ma'am, the founder secretary, then Dr. Satish Ubale sir, who's a very good and kind mentor, generous mentor for all of us. Then Harshali Gomse ma'am, who's taking efforts, even if sometimes I delayed the response, but she was so what we can say vigilant and so on the toes always to get the response from me. Thank you, ma'am, for your support. And I guess Anand Padle sir is also there. Thank you for
Yes,
all
sir.
the Matrix team to invite me as a guest session on the essentials of innovation and entrepreneurship. As I must, this is kind of disclaimer. All the contents are developed by me, and some references I have taken from the internet and some books. Okay, so all credit goes to the writers and the information sharer on in virtual mode or the print media. Secondly, as this topic, the fourth dimension series session, I have taken the opportunity to put some basic information which we need to check. There are few checkpoints I have tried to get, instead of always discussing the various bodies, various what we can say the philosophical aspects of entrepreneurs. I wanted to give some insights that we can retrospect at this a level, and then we can go ahead and we try to inculcate all these virtues, all these whatever whatever the knowledge we are sharing in this particular session in our day-to-day life. This is my favorite book, that is Tough Time Never Lasts but Tough People Do. That applies everywhere. If you are the tough in your muscles, nobody can defeat you. And this applies in innovation and entrepreneurship as well. Even if entrepreneurship nowadays can also happen in jobs. So the people who wanted to go for job, they are not escaping the entrepreneurship. There, the concept called intrapreneurship will always support to get them successful. On the basis of this fourth dimension, I have divided our session in three aspects. That is, welcome to MBA, that we are the MBA students, career life balance we'll see, and essentials of innovation and entrepreneurship, that also will cover in very short span of time. I'll introduce some new concepts. I'll give you some examples where the innovations will come at your aid, and what is the normalized form of this innovation, where we always think the innovation is putting your brain hours and hours, days and days in laboratory and working on that particular aspect, and then one day you will get successful and some apple will fall on your head and you will become Newton. You're getting? So that is again a myth kind of thing, and you need to be very vigilant. You keep your eyes open and innovation happens. This is very what we can say the systematic approach, and this is attitudinal. Your attitude make become or makes you the innovator, right? So this is a simple agenda I have kept for next 45 to 50 minutes. Okay, then I'll ask you to ask if you have any doubt on this, any kind of slide or any kind of point, you can note it down and we'll discuss that at the end of the session. Okay, so with the permission of all, let me begin with my today's a small talk on the essentials of innovation, including welcome to MBA, career life balance, and at the end, we'll see innovation and entrepreneurship, how this will support. Welcome to MBA, right? Why we join MBA? Can anybody tell? Yes, why you have chosen the MBA as your career path, or why you want to do the MBA? Yes, anyone from the students? Yes. Now, I must say that there is no concept student of student when you come into the andragogy. We'll discuss this andragogy as well. But the learner, yes, we all are learners. Once we done with our graduation, whatever study you'll undertake, you will be renowned as a learner only, right? So, can you just tell one or two reasons why you want to become MBA postgraduate person? No. Yet, do you have any issues? Let's clarify all these points in our few things. A path paved for success. We want to achieve the success in our life. Am I correct? So why MBA? To be more employable, to learn more things, to control our life, to get placement or we to start a startup where we need to shift from this pedagogy to andragogy. This is all about a MBA's fundamental, right? So let's understand first. Welcome to MBA. Before going ahead, let me give you the different approaches of undergraduate and postgraduate. You have gone through the undergraduate, and I doubt I am so much confirmed that we yet haven't get out ourselves from the undergraduate attitude approach, because we do not know. Until unless you do not know what would be the next approach you have, you cannot leave your current approach. And my dear friends, please understand that. Please confirm, please acknowledge this. Until unless you cannot leave your current situation, you cannot leave your current state of mind, you cannot solve the problems which you are facing now. You're getting why we are facing problems in current situation? Because we have that current approach, current mindset. Once you change your mindset, your perspectives, your perception towards the problem will get changed, and solution will appear in front of you. So let's understand what are the various approaches and what postgraduate approach we have to become a good MBA person first, and then a good entrepreneur or good startup person. Knowledge, yes, there in undergraduate there are a lot of courses. You have to carry a lot of books, lot of notebooks to what we can say is study, and to answer the questions, to mug up the what we can say question and answer, and write the your examination like anything. You have to face lot of courses. But in post graduation, no, you have to be very specialized. For an example, you have 5 major and 3 minor specializations. You have to be there in this framework, right? Why this framework is important? Because your domain knowledge will make you successful. You're getting? So be specialized person, be specific person, be focused person. That is where the postgraduate course will always help you out to be successful. Second approach is study versus learn, where in undergraduate you study hard, right, to get a good marks. But in postgraduate, no, it is the learning to contribute, how you can contribute, right, to the society, to solve the problems, to solve the issues with your study, whatever you have done in your undergrads, right? So here, how to utilize the knowledge, right, that makes sense. Next is assessment. Specific exams and assessments were done, but in postgraduate you have gone through the concurrent evaluation or continuous evaluation. That also you need to understand why this continuous evaluation is there, and why on the daily basis assessment is important. We sometimes we feel very frustrated for this kind of activities, but it is really required to sculpt your personality in professional manner. Examination, similar answers and solutions are expected, where in postgraduate you can develop your own set of knowledge and reflect that knowledge through research in your answer sheets as well. That is more specific way to resolve or to solve your answers. Framework, well defined boundaries were there. You know that the textbooks, now you nobody can ask you to refer the textbooks in PG. Instead, some reference books have been what we can say given in your syllabus. Those reference books you have to have as a textbooks, and again you can refer various contemporary set of knowledge through the various journals, research papers, research articles, case studies, newspaper, and so on. You're getting? Nobody will ask you to read the textbooks, right? And I completely disagree that you have to use some kind of Thakur publications and all, right? Why? Because they have given the masala to make you clear, to pass you, right? We need not to pass. We have done this in undergraduates, right? Now we want to learn to contribute, right? So here, to learning the contribute, you need to understand how the particular situation was tackled by the people in their lives. You're getting? So here the framework is little bit changed. It is hazy beginning. You do not know what to do, but enjoy the journey of unknown achievement, and pleasure will be sought once you accomplish your target. References, textbooks, here you can refer the research papers and all. Learning attitude, predefined learning. So where the in undergraduate you might have gone through the objectives, here you have the outcomes. So outcomes may be vary. There are the generic outcomes where you have to fit yourself, whether these outcomes you have molded to become a good employee, a good family businessman, or you want to have the startup. You're getting? So here, search, learn, discover, and publish kind of learning attitude you have to have. So mold your attitude in such a way where you can utilize your strengths. You're getting? Forget about the weaknesses. Weaknesses, they are there. Why? Because you cannot overcome of it, right? So why you are thinking about them all the time, right? Why you are losing your confidence while thinking about weaknesses? Instead, think on, focus on your strengths, and that will give you the confidence. And last is your style. Here the pedagogy. You know what do you mean by pedagogy? Pedagogy is pedestrian's way to guide a children, right, to get rid of the various unwanted habits, aspects, and make them well and healthy. You're getting? So it is the instructional way of teaching and learning, where the andragogy is something different. So in on the next slide, we have the what we can say uh, differentiation between pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy, where the dependency is there, where andragogy is self-directiveness. For an example, suppose I ask you for the startup and innovation cell, please read XYZ book. For the self-help, I have listed 10 books. You have to read those 10 books, right? That becomes, or that will take a dependency. But when you study few of the books, and you may change, right, the sequence of books, or you have to have a number of aspects, yes, exploring, and on the basis of those aspects you may choose your own books to read, to understand, and you have a complete freedom, right, in MBA, to develop that particular way of thinking which is constructive and productive. That is very important. When you are the directed, then your productivity and your positivity is very important. If that is not there, you'll become the destructor. You're getting? That is not allowed. So self concept is very important part. Experience of little worth. In pedagogy, you need not to have the experience. What you have to do is you have to read the books and gain the experience, theoretical knowledge. But in andragogy, whatever you have read, you have to implement immediately. You're getting? Immediately. And then what you can do, you have to have the experiential learners are rich resources of learning. So here you need to be rich resource of learning by implementing all these aspects in your day-to-day life. Let me give you a very basic example here. I hope you have read the book called Cheaper by Dozen. It has been Gilbert family wrote this book, and Gilbert was one of the associate of F.W. Taylor while he was developing the scientific management. I hope you have gone through the scientific management, right? One day he came home from his office and he brought two razors to shave, and he wanted to see how he can save the time. And what he did, he utilized his both the hands to shave, right? And at the end of shaving, he made a comment. It is very funny comment that you have to use only one hand to shave, because the time you are saving while using two hands to shave, right? And when you get a cut, a wound on your face, that sanitizing that wound will take more time, right, than shaving by one hand. You're getting? So learning, how you can learn? You can experiment whatever learnings you have. Why that book has been called as a Cheaper by Dozen? Because that Gilbert had 12, a dozen children, right, in his, or his 12 children were there, and he used to experiment all the what we can say theories, literature developed, right, in home, and he got that ready-made experimental lab in his own house. That is why the book was named after Cheaper by Dozen. It is the cheapest way to experiment your study. Readiness, biological development, social pressure is there. You might have, again, you can go in back and see what was your condition when you are at 10, right? Your family always poked you. Hey, go to the study, do the study, have the good marks. In 12th, the same thing had happened. After 12th, as your direction of learning has been got changed, they mitigated poking you, and now nobody pokes you. You're getting? Why? Because they know that now you have shifted this andragogical approach, where developmental task of social roles is your major concern. Now you became the graduate. Now you are having the voting rights. That means you have the right to choose the government. You're getting? So you are well matured in short. So where you are well matured, you're getting, why you require the pedagogical approach. Why the teachers, the faculties, the parents, your mentors should always poke you from behind and ask you to complete the work. Don't you find this is ridiculous? When we are mature, we know what is right and wrong. Why don't we go with this analogical approach? Now, time perspective, postponed application is observed in pedagogy. That means you have to study, teacher will teach you, you have to study, you have to write the paper, then you get an authentication that yes, now you are eligible through your testimonial, that is your graduation mark sheet, certificate, you're getting, and then you are ready to apply what your knowledge you have gained. That is postponed application. In MBA, in postgraduate, it is not been there. Why? Because we are in analogical approach. Here, immediate application. You do the study, you start learning your concepts, right? And through the internship, through the various field research, through the various case studies, you have to implement whatever knowledge you are learning in that contemporary part, in that contemporary era, where you have to again be very vigilant, you have to be very proactive to implement whatever knowledge sheet you are perceiving. Learning orientation, subject centered. No, now in andragogy, that is a problem centered. If you have seen that all your syllabus has been developed on the basis of 12 graduates and specific outcomes on of each course or each subject, that those subjects are directed, those problem statements or the objectives are directed to solve the contemporary industrial problems. If you observe closely and if you put them in sequence in the prerequisite and post-requisite, you'll find that first semester subjects are prerequisite for second semester subjects are prerequisite for your SIP and your third semester, and so on. You're getting? So here we are there to solve the problems. Why? Because if you see that your readiness is directed towards developmental task of social roles, you have to play a good social role. If you consider any organization, that will be the tiniest part of a society. As we considered, when you go home is again one of the part of society. This is a tiny society, mini society, right? Likewise, when you join any organization, you are joining that particular social aspect, social environment, and you have to be a problem solver. That will see our balance scorecard, how the balance scorecard works. Motivation, here the extrinsic motivation is there. Parents should feel proud that you have scored good in 10th and 12th. That is the extrinsic motivation. Now, in analogical approach, it is all about the intrinsic motivation. What type of role you want, where you lies in the Maslow's need hierarchy. What would be your aspiration, that everything comes at your aid and that develops your discipline to learn, to take your career ahead. That will become the intrinsic motivation. Nobody will come and tell you that you have to do to earn the money or make the money. You're getting? We'll see the difference between earning and making money as well, right? So this is the 5 pillars of andragogy: self-concept, experience, readiness, orientation, and intrinsic motivation that we discussed in short in our last slide. Moving ahead, this is very important, my dear friends. Why? Because this will give you where we are lagging behind in our career, why we are facing so many problems in strategizing on in our own life, and where we need to focus now. Late is always better than nothing. Please try to understand what we learn in school. When I thought on it, I was got shocked. I see that whatever I learned in my school and whatever I am implementing right now in my life, having two different ages, right? So I have learned that how to multiply multiple of 8 into 7, that is 54, I guess, and what is H2O stands for, and what will happen, I'll change this combination and all, which is the universal truths, right? But what I have to learn alongside this is important. I don't say that this is not important. Alongside this, what should I learn? Importance of mental health. You're getting? I'll show you why this importance of mental health is there and why the emotional intelligence come out of this, and it has become very important aspect of not only the entrepreneurship, not only the innovation, but in personal life. Why the work-life balance is very important. Then self-care, mindfulness, how you treat, how you respond, how you react, that also matters. Emotional regulation, self-esteem, personal finance. How many of you claim that you are financial sound? That means you have the financial literacy. I don't, because I haven't learned that particularly in school. But now, yes, I'm very much vigilant on these particular points. Refraining negative thoughts and importance of sleep, that is also very much important in my life. And I had to be very, what we can say, fortunate if I had learned this all the things in my school education, that we need to think. Now career life balance, it is, we know that this is all about the give and take, right? So career is also give and take kind of thing. When you employ somewhere, you are selling, you are selling your knowledge, your energy to get back something. So give and take is always there. When you give your time, you'll get the salary. That means the people having a two punch one lunch approach, when they come into the office, they sit back, they do their default work, regular task, and they get the salary. And they always keep blaming that why I haven't get a good, what we can say, succession, or a good, what we can say, the progression in my career. Why? Because they have only given salary, and somewhere they are lagging in their efforts. But the colleagues, they put their efforts and get benefits and compensation for their efforts. So please try to understand in time what efforts you are putting, that makes your career very progressive. Then problem solving, are you a problem solver or you are neutral? The point, if you are a problem solver, your network quotient and relationship development will come into the aid. People will come towards you to get your problem solved. If you are giving something, you'll get back something. So that is your network quotient, and whenever you have problem, people will come to your aid. Then results, if you are result oriented, then yes, what you will find, your career escalation is at par. So that you need to understand, that you need to always think, this is your ikagai, that you need to be, what we can say, address all the time. Ikagai, what you want to achieve, what you love, comes with what you are good at, comes with what you can do, can be paid for, and you are getting paid for what the world needs. So here you can see that your passion is the combination of what you love and what you're good at, that percolated in what you are good at and what you can be paid for, that will become your profession. You're getting what you can be paid for. And when you wanted to have the CSR, right, that is what the world needs, that is your vocation, and what you love and what the world needs, when you come get together, passion, how to utilize passion, it comes with this particular ikagai. I recommend to read this ikagai, right, as well, to get a clear idea on your career life balance. Let's move ahead. And essential of innovation and entrepreneurship, this is, I hope you might have understood that what do you mean by MBA, why MBA is very important, and how MBA can be completed with appropriate approach of andragogy, and we need to change our approach of pedagogy to andragogy. You're getting? So be vigilant, be, take the responsibility, have that buy-in, shoulder your own career on your own, right, what we can say, muscles, that will give you the success, and that will only give you the success. Until unless you don't work hard, don't work smart, you cannot be there. So it is very important to have this career life balance, that ikagai in our life, to go ahead. And that this is the right time, my dear friends, to have this kind of attitude, this kind of approach in our life, and that will make you a successful MBA postgraduate. And again, this is all the proud and pride feeling about you, to us as an institute, to us as a mentor, faculties, your parents will feel automatically pride of you. Now, when we talk about the innovation, let me give you a very short story about this innovation. Innovation is always happen in labs. Am I correct? Innovation will always happen when the great mind keeps working. Am I correct? Or it is just a myth? Let's debunk this particular fact. I'll take you to a temple, which is a countryside or a small village, right? Probably it is the temple. Yes, is there any problem? Okay, so let me take you to the temple where uh, everybody goes in our India. When we talk about the temple where you go and seek the blessings of God, we believe that total 32 types of god and goddesses lies in a cow, go mata, right? One lady who might have observed the temple where the people worship the cow, right? What she did, she brought her cow to that temple. She tied that cow to one tree. She made a small bunches of grass, and one board was displayed there. Feed the cow and get the blessings of Lord, maybe Datta, because cow is always accompany Lord Datta, right? And people, when they read, and they used to approach that lady and get one bunch of grass and feed the cow, right? Fold their hands and close their eyes and say, Lord Datta, please bless me. And with the pleasure in their mind, right, they go home. But the only condition is, when you get one bunch of grass, you have to pay 10 rupees. Right. Now, see the innovative part. Innovation is nothing but utilizing whatever sources you have as a resource to make the money. Now, let's check few facts. Fact number one, that cow has that lady has the cow to pour the milk. She used to sell the milk and earn the money. First thing. Second, to make that cow milky, she has to feed that cow maybe the grass and other, what we can say, food related to that cow, and then she used to get the, what we can say, milk. This is her regular task, to feeding that cow. Now the innovation is there where she started making money, that she commercialized that feeding to the cow. You're getting? If she used to have that cow at her home, nobody used to pay by coming to her home and do the needful. That means the paying 10 rupees and feed the cow. No, but she turns her sources into the resources. What do you mean by turning sources into resources? Sources won't be monetized or won't be commercialized, but when you turn your sources into the resources, you can monetize those resources. You're getting? Likewise, this particular woman, and there the innovation starts, my dear friends. Innovation is how you are turning your sources into resources. Now introspect for 2 minutes, right? You'll find that some strengths we have, right, those we can consider as resources, and start commercializing. You're getting? So here what you can do is, I have observed that some of you have the knowledge of a stock exchange, stock market. You can disseminate that knowledge with the people very genuinely who do not have. You can share your specific knowledge on YouTube, Instagram. Instead of making the what we can say, funny reels, you can share the knowledge and you can earn money. Internet is all about that. This is nothing but the innovation, how you can turn your sources into the resources. You getting? Let's, with this small story, let's start our journey towards innovation. So what is the prerequisite of this innovation and entrepreneurship? That is always the competencies. What do you mean by competency? Competency is the blend of your KSA, that is knowledge, skills and attitude. What do you mean by knowledge, skills and attitude? Knowledge, whatever we are just sharing, whatever new set of knowledge I am sharing with you. Skills, by practicing this knowledge, you have developed your muscles memory in particular way. That is your skills, which becomes your aptitude. Anything you can do it with ease and appropriately in more perfection, that becomes your skill. And your attitude, your approach towards your skills and knowledge, it is like that. If your attitude is of execution, you can do it. Otherwise, some people have all their skill sets but they do not utilize it, and the skill set may go waste, right? That depends on your attitude and ability. And what we have to do is, instead of although we have all knowledge, skills and attitude, we have to reflect on all those things. We have to retrospect what we have done in your life, what mistakes we have done, what our strengths, what our weaknesses, what are threats, and what are various opportunities. When you prepare all these particular chart, these 4 quadrants for you, you are doing or you might be reflecting on your experiences. Those will give you more opportunities to earn competencies and implement your things. So competencies can be considered as your communication skills and financial literacy, right? So these the knowledge set which you are practicing day by day or in your what we can say day to day life for helping other, for making money and for other things. Yes, you are utilizing your competencies for sure. You're getting. Next one is skill sets. What type of skill sets we have that we need to understand first. Into 2015 you can see that we have these 10 top 10 skill sets which you have to implement. In 2020 the skill sets got changed. Few skill sets were remain same, few skill sets introduced in newly manner. In 2025 if you see that again the skill set was got changed, and you can see that the new list of skill set was appeared. And yes, as an entrepreneur, as a management professional, you have to be very accurate about choosing right skill sets required in that contemporary time period. For an example, if you can see, just let's analyze that complex problem solving carried to 15 to 20, and it downs its ranking. Now it is of less importance. Critical thinking raised its ranking in 2020. Again, it lost its rank, and something new is coming ahead. People management was at importance, but now that is of no use, because you know that the ERPs and all things, you need not to always deal with your colleagues, your subordinates or your boss. If even if you want to put your leave, what you have to do is through the ERP you have to just raise the ticket and your boss will approve it, right? So people management is also be taken by what we can say artificial intelligence. Active learning is very important. Cognitive abilities are now again making its point. Creativity, again you can see the this is very important part. We'll see the creativity, but if you see at the foundation of all, you'll find that emotional intelligence, how emotionally strong you are, that makes the point. And it has its roots in not only in the past but in present as well as in the future as well. For an example, for complex problem solving you have to have appropriate emotional intelligence. Critical thinking you require emotional intelligence. Active learning you require the emotional intelligence. In future, analytical skills and innovation you have to have emotional stability. And if you see that in future, first six skills, first six ranked skills, you required a emotional intelligence as a foundation. That means not losing your temper in bad conditions, not putting down or not leaving the war, what we can say, field until unless you are not done. You're getting your go-getter attitude. Everything comes with this emotional intelligence, this emotional stability. You're getting. So these are the 5 emotional intelligence parameters that you have to have: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, decision making, and social skills, that you have to be considered as the basic of your emotional intelligence. And this is free thing, or what we can say, you can go and check on the what we can say the net as well, or we can have another talk on this emotional intelligence, because this is very interesting part, right? Extended prerequisite: inquisitivity, your curiosity matters. Inspiration, intrinsic motivation, that we can say the inspiration is important. Then the willpower, do you have willpower? You are you tougher? Once you decide, nobody can stop you until unless you do not achieve your goal. That things, until unless, whatever hurdles will come, you'll get rid of all the hurdles and achieve your target. That will come out of willpower. Focus, are you focused? Then persistent efforts, that is also important. Persistency, that means not persistency, that doesn't mean the continuity. Persistency, that means taking small intervals but completing your task in given period of time. Please read the Pomodoro technique and use the Pomodoro technique in your day-to-day life, so you will see that what is the difference between being persistent and being continuous, right? So, and ready to accept the ideas of others would be the last point, which is extended prerequisite. Are you able to access or accept the criticism as a suggestion, that matters the most. If you see, the biggest hurdle in the communication is we always think that we need to react, we need to showcase our talent, our knowledge, instead of understanding what is the intensity, what is the problem is faced by the other people. We wanted to react immediately. We feel that reacting in time or responding within time immediately is the sign of what we can say the expert, eminent person, philosopher. No, philosophers never do that. Philosophers are always ready to accept the idea of others. Let me give you again one the small example on this particular point. One day, Nelson Mandela and his father attended the Senate of their village. There was a small village where the Nelson Mandela born in South Africa, and you know that his father was also leader. He's the sarpanch in their country, in their village, the main senator they used to call, right? And he always observed that, but that day he dared to ask a question to the father. He asked the father, father, why you always speak at end? I have seen all other village leaders, they always speak in the beginning and convey their decisions, you're getting, but they don't speak at late or at the end. What is it, why you do this? So he smiled and said, see Nelson, you have to accept the ideas of others. At speaking in the end will give me an opportunity to understand what other people are thinking, what are there in their minds, what is there on their minds, right? And it will give me the checkpoint. Whatever I would like to speak is whether correct or not. If it is not corrected, then this is an opportunity to correct me all the points, all the facts, and then I'll speak, and my speech and my whatever decision I am giving, that has been appraised by my team, by my village, and that is why I am so much respectful, and that is why I can make appropriate prediction on the basis of the knowledge I am gaining. In short, when you speak, you share your knowledge only, but when you listen, you are enhancing your knowledge. So here, whenever some things will come to you, you have to be very vigilant. This is also been given in the autobiography of one of the great entrepreneur, that is Bill Gates. In his book, the name of the book is Business with the Speed of Light. You can read that book, you'll find that he has given three mantras. You should be focused, you should be persistent, and you are always ready to accept the ideas from others. Then what do you mean, what is the idea? How you define this word idea? Idea is a combination of IDEA. I stands for ideation, that is the process of channelizing appropriate thought process. D is your dream. As we know that Abdul Kalam ji, what he has said, dream, that means the dream is the thing which let not you sleep, right? Dream is something which keeps you awake until unless it won't get fulfilled. E is all about the efficacy, that means how you utilize your competencies, and A is your attitude towards the idea. So let's try to understand what do you mean by ideation, the creative process of generating new ideas. For example, brainstorming and prototyping. This is what about the brainstorming, searching or finding ways and possibilities to solve the problems. If you see that the cycle, it is a cyclic process for creative solutions, for better clarity, gathering ideas, win against your competition, groom your brain to find more than one solution, to make less flaws, and to achieve success, and again going to the next level, where the prototyping is the first example of something such as machine or other industrial products for which latter forms are developed. This is a smallest part, working working what we can say prototype of working model of a bigger project, that is the prototype. Dream serves as a resource of great ideas for your business, and it motivates you to put more efforts into what you are doing. It is a kind of vision. You have clear vision to what you want to achieve, how you can accomplish your objectives, and whom you need on your side to reach your goals. Now here, if you see that vision is the first step of your management functions. Plan, you're getting, organize, staffing, directing, controlling. Here, the vision will always give you path that how you can manage your management functions, how you manage your all the things. Efficacy determines one's orientation of goals, the efforts paid to achieve the goals, and persistence. Example is a mindset. What type of mindset you have? Do you have the growth mindset, or when you have the fixed mindset, what will happen whenever you find the problem, you'll sit back and try to curse your situation rather than you take up the challenge, fold your sleeves, and start working to resolve your problems. So this efficacy defines what type of mindset you carries. Attitude, consistent behavior and thinking which are in line with creating and running a business. Passion and integrity, what type of passion you have as per the dictionary. And passion is an intense desire of or enthusiasm for something, where the integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than the personal gain. So creating the win-win situation for all is the major, what we can say, aspect, major facet of all the management professionals. When you come in the office as a manager, you should not have any kind of your personal goal, rather you should always be there to serve a goal of your organization, to serve the purpose of your people, you're getting, and making them successful. Because when you make your people successful, you'll become successful, you're getting. And this is again one of the very basic fundamental rule of leadership. Leaders do not create followers, they create, they develop more leaders, and that is the part of the integrity. Now, want to become a good entrepreneur, what type of qualities you have? Qualities like passion, tenacity, vision, and self confidence is required. That every part we have already addressed. A great idea that people will pay money for. Again, ikagai, what you will get paid for and what you are good at, and how you can turn this part into a passion, right? And plan for success. You have to have a plan. There is always a, what we can say, 1000 days challenge for startups, right? You have to plan before entering into a startup inauguration ceremony. You should develop 1000-day plan, that on each day what activities you are doing to be successful. That is plan for successful. Consistent execution of the plan, that consistency again very important. I follow the Pomodoro technique. Do you follow the Pomodoro technique to become the consistent? If no, please try to understand what do you mean by Pomodoro and try to implement that in your day-to-day life. Innovation, what do you mean by innovation? Technology, that will see, and most of the parts will address. Innovation is any new idea, process or product or change to an existing product or process that adds value to the existing product or service. So innovation is always not introducing something new, but if you are elevating the quality, the productivity of the current system, current product, current machinery, that also been considered as the, what we can say, the innovation. Let's try to understand with the mouth of Steve Jobs, what do you mean by innovation? Is it audible to all?
No, sir.
Just a second, I'll check. Just a second. Mhm. Just a second. I'll stop the sharing and start resharing again. Okay.
Be great on your platform rather than just okay because you're spreading yourself too thin. So we have a history of doing that. As an example, we went from the 5-inch floppy disk to the 3.5-inch floppy disk with the Mac.
Before other people, right?
We were the first to do that. We made
Right.
the 3.5-inch floppy disk popular. Sony invented it, and we put it in the first products. And there were some good reasons we did that. We got rid of the floppy disk altogether in 1998 with the first iMac. We also got rid of these things called serial and parallel ports. And we were the first to adopt USB, even though Intel had invented it. You first saw it in mass on iMacs. And so we have gotten rid of things. We were one of the first to get rid of optical drives with the MacBook Air. And I think things are moving in that direction as well. And sometimes when we get rid of things like the floppy disk drive on the original iMac, people call us crazy.
Or at least premature, maybe.
No, they call us crazy.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes you just have to pick the things that look like they're going to be the right horses to ride going forward. And
What if people say, you know, the iPad is crippled in this respect?
well, I'd say two things. Number one, things are packages of emphasis. Some things are emphasized in a product. Some things are not done as well in a product. Some things are chosen not to be done at all in a product. And so different people make different choices. And if the market tells us we're making the wrong choices, we listen to the market. We're just people running this company. We're trying to make great products for people. And so we have at least the courage of our convictions to say, we don't think this is part of what makes a great product. We're going to leave it out. Some people are going to not like that. They're going to call us names. It's not going to be in certain companies' vested interests that we do that, but we're going to take the heat because we want to make the best product in the world for customers. And we're going to instead focus our energy on these technologies, which we think are in their ascendancy and we think are going to be the right technologies for customers. And you know what? They're paying us to make those choices. That's what a lot of customers pay us to do, is to try to make the best products we can. And if we succeed, they'll buy them. And if we don't, they won't. And it'll all work itself out.
So my dear friends, you might have now understood what do you mean by the innovation, right? Innovation is all about the satisfying the market needs through new ideas, some new processes that you are introducing, a product or change in existing product. Like they given the floppy disk to compact disk, that has been called as CD. Now CD to pen stick. This is the innovation, right? Until unless you cannot have the next more viable product idea, you cannot discontinue older one. Where the innovation plays very important role, and this is very complex process, but you can do it in appropriate way. Innovation is not merely idea plus values, but it is the application of knowledge to change the world and deliver knowledge value You're getting? Now again, go back to our competency slide. Competency depicts knowledge, skills, and attitude. You're getting? When you combinedly utilize this particular part as the knowledge to change the world and deliver knowledge value, you are merely developing ideas plus values. That is nothing but innovation. You're getting? This has been said by the Gajanan Khoth, one of the, what we can say, Indian doctor. Innovation is not about the solving the problem, but it is about understanding the problem first. It is all about the courage to solve the problem. See, if you do not understand the problem, how you can resolve the problem? It has been said by Dr. Ajay Kokda, senior surgeon from Jalgaon. But again, before going ahead, what you can do is you can again go through this particular video, what the Elon Musk said about the innovation, how you undertake the innovation, how he developed himself, right, from a beggar person to multi-millionaire. If you check his journey from PayPal to today's whatever X or the Tesla or the SpaceX or the Boring Company, you'll find that his continuous and persistent efforts played important role all the time in his day-to-day life.
Tesla, SpaceX, they're so spectacularly different. They're such ambitious projects at scale. How on earth has one person been able to innovate in this way? What is it about you? I don't know, actually. I don't have a good answer for you. I work a lot. I mean, and a lot. Well, I have the theory. Okay, all right. My theory is that you have an ability to think at a system level of design that pull together design, technology, and business. So TED was TBD, design, technology, business, into one package, synthesize it in a way that very few people can, and this is the critical thing, feel so damn confident in that click together package that you take crazy risks. You bet your fortune on it, and you seem to have done that multiple times. I mean, almost no one can do that. Can we have some of that secret sauce? Can we put it into our education system? Can someone learn from you? It is truly amazing what you've done.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Well, I think I do think there's a good framework for thinking. It is physics, you know, the sort of first principles reasoning. But generally, I think there are, what I mean by that is boil things down to their fundamental truths and reason up from there, as opposed to reasoning by analogy. Through most of our life, we get through life by reasoning by analogy, which essentially means kind of copying what other people do with slight variations. And you have to do that, otherwise it's mentally you wouldn't be able to get through the day. But when you want to do something new, you have to apply the physics approach. Physics is really sort of figuring out how to discover new things that are counterintuitive, like quantum mechanics. It's really counterintuitive. So I think that's an important thing to do. And then also to really pay attention to negative feedback and solicit it, particularly from friends. This may sound like sort of simple advice, but it's hardly anyone does that, and it's incredibly helpful.
Boys and girls watching, study physics. Learn from this man. Elon Musk, I wish we had all day. But
so we have seen the second video where the Elon Musk says that always be on the first principles, where the first principle to solve any problem is to understand the problem. Until unless you do not go to the root cause of that particular problem, you will not able to solve the problem. And my dear friends, this is where you can start innovating the new things. So I hope you are understanding the innovation is not differentiate between technologies, and it is no attachment to particular way of doing things. Rather, it is completing, or it is understanding the problem and devising appropriate solution, employing appropriate resources to solve that problem. That is all about the innovation. This has been said by Dr. Parag Kulkarni from Pune. Innovation is typically an idea that creates value and measurable value, that also we have discussed. Creating value for stakeholders, feasibility is one of the objective of the business. So you can see that now the affordability through the innovation plays very important role. What are the various competitive advantage to your companies for your product, for your services? That is affordability, durability, and sustainability, or that mean by durability but and timely manner. These are the very three basic aspects, facets of quality you have to address, right? That is affordability, sustainability, and timeliness. These are the three important aspects where the feasibility comes into the aid. What product or services does, whether instead of putting what are various attributes of that product, how that product will support the people to get solve their problems, that makes the difference. You're getting? So that you have to put how is it made. Now environmental awareness, how your product is more environment friendly or more supportive for the human existence, that matters. How do you build it? Your process of building your product also matters in the most of the time. Innovation is more than productivity and creativity management. You're getting? So that also the productivity and creativity also comes or takes you to the sustainability. It is meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So again, keeping that scope for the future generation also matters. Systematic and cooperative learning is important, where innovative fundamental knowledge helps you to get you there. Create sustainable values. Again, you know that the people, they are always there to make their business sustainable. You have to do that. If you do not do the sustainability, then your business is fail like anything. Take the example of Nokia, right? They never believed in their team development. They never believed in new technology adoption. For an example, if you read the documentaries, you'll find that Google firstly approached to the Nokia to launch the Android, and they refused, and then they go get ahead with the Samsung and other manufacturers, and you can see what had happened with the Nokia and the Samsung, if you see, if you read again the documentaries, you'll find that in 2008 to 2012, almost every year they have introduced more than 395 new models in the market. Now you can just imagine, in a year we have 365 days, and in each year for 4 years they have come up with more than 380 390 models every year. So you'll find that what the enthusiasm, what the consistency they have to hope from failure to failure to become the successful. And now where is the Samsung? They are anchored well in the competition. On the basis of that anchor is nothing but the innovation and incubation. You're getting? That is creating the sustainability, sustainable values. Invention is very important, because until unless you do not invent, you cannot innovate. Invention is a breakthrough idea, some new idea. For an example, the computer was a breakthrough idea. The innovation is actualization. Now we have the screen, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the what we can say extended memories and all. If you see, the first computer they have invented with the only merely 500 kb or 1 MB occupies entire 10 by 10 room. Now we have the TVs, and we can sit with the laptop in a corner and we can do our stuff. You're getting? This is nothing but innovation based on the invention called a computer. The creative origin of new processes and enabler of the innovation. Impact on social, economic, and financial processes can also be done and visualized. Invention, therefore, invention is designed as creative process or progressive, while innovation is defined as actual and impact of all processes. So hence what we can say the creativity is the fundamental aspect of innovation, where it has been considered as a art of art. It is the organizer of talent. You have to organize the talent at individual level. What you can do is, it is a capacity to think out of box. Yes, out of box thinking is matter. It's always important. Think laterally, observe, convince, and construct ideas and models. That also plays important role in creativity, that outstripe the existing items and ways of thoughts and perceptions. Sorry. So again, the way you develop your perception, you are developing your creativity. Therefore, creativity is a capacity to observe new interactions between objects and ideas. So again, welcome to the what we can say era of industry 4.0, 5.0, where the entire things may interact with each other. For an example, by sitting at office, in college, you can turn on, turn off your fridge or your fan or any gadget at your home. That is nothing but the innovative. That is nothing but the creativity. You're getting? types, they are artists, scientists, and business people. They are creative. Let's understand where the creativity comes from. Creativity always is a productivity of your brain, or this is a brain productivity. How? We have two pairs of brain, left brain and right brain. By analyzing this image, you can see that the creativity here, the colorful aspects in our right brain are being mentioned, and this is very logical. This is the database of our brain. So here the left brain versus right brain. With the help of left brain, we think in words, like whatever statements I'm constructing, these are the with the help of the left brain. Sequencing, it is a linear thinking kind of thing. It helps you to become a good in mathematics. It stores the facts and it gives you the logic. Where the right brain, it is always been the feelings and visualizations. It is imaginative, it is intuitive, it is rhythmic, it is holistic thinking, and it always rely on arts. So if you are good in the arts, in creativity, you are the right brainy. Otherwise you are the left brainy. The people who are good in administration, they are always the left brain people. Where you lies, where what is your strength, that you need to understand and use that particular aspects. Let's take to the last few slides of our session, that is characteristics of entrepreneurship. Now I hope the entrepreneurship characteristics you might have gone through whatever we have discussed. I have made this particular presentation in such a way, instead of putting that entire the same repetitive things, I have tried to maintain this interactive. First characteristic of entrepreneurship is goal orientedness. It is a B hack. B hack was developed by the Jim Collins in his book called Good to Great. A true B hack stands for big, hairy, audacious goals. Big, it is always bigger than life. Hairy, that means whenever you think about your goal, that will give you the goosebumps. That is, you are always checking from within to achieve your goals. Audacious, they're always making noise in your ears and they are not letting you sleep. And goals, and you have to ask few questions like, does it stimulate forward progress, does it create momentum for your life or your career, does it get people going, that means keeping people engaged is also very important, and so on. Second is committed to the business. Are you committed to your business? Are you committed? Business doesn't mean that you are only earn the money or make the money. Business, that means whatever task you are now having in your hand, that you have to complete in appropriate manner. For an example, MBA, you have to complete your MBA in appropriate manner. You have to be very equipped with your knowledge, right, to deal with your future problems. So here the committed or commitment comes with the trust, conflict management, your commitment, your accountability, and result. That means, in short, you have to have appropriate buy-in towards your work. Hands-on and reflections. Here the internship plays very important role. Whenever you go for internship, please try to understand what type of hands-on you are getting and how you have developed your project report with the reflections of your hands-on or your experience in the entrepreneurship internship, right? So that plays important role. Prosper on uncertainty. See, and entrepreneurs, they have that particular characteristics, like they are always prosper on uncertainty. Wherever the problem is, they always resolve the problem with the help of their internal what we can say aspects. Continuously look for improvement. Plan, do, check, act. You have to be very vigilant to see how you can what we can say change your day-to-day activities in more improvised and more what we can say perfect way. Willing to take risk. Are you risk taker in appropriate manner? Risk taking, that doesn't mean just putting your hands in the work, right? Like risk taking is not like putting your hand in boiling water. That is the madness, that is the insane. Risk is all about calculating the issues, calculating the problems, taking the probability of success and working on those probabilities. That is the risk taking. Willing to listen and learn. You're getting, we have taken the example of Nelson Mandela. You're getting, you have to listen and learn, then you can respond. It has been the golden rule of communication, that is listen twice, speak once. When you get the information, you have to process the information for appropriate fact finding, and on the basis of appropriate fact finding, what you can do is you can give back to the society. Great people skills, whether you believe or not believe, right? This belongs to one of the what we can say children's book, where you need to understand the what do you mean by sharing, cooperating, listening appropriately, following directions, because the first sign, symptom of leadership is the leaders are good followers. You're getting? So following directions appropriately is also a skill, is also virtue of leader. Repeating personal respecting personal space, making eye contact to have the integrated approach, and using manners. You have to be very mannerful. And you can see that again if you read the book called Good to Great and Build to Last by Jim Collins, you'll find that there is a leadership level 5 where the determination and humility, right, are the major leadership skills. If you can see the appropriate or the what we can say the exact example of this is the Ratan Tata ji, right? He is very determinant about his objectives, outcomes, but he's very grounded person, right? So that is a great people skill. Inherent creativity, again, if you see, if you might have heard up to Steve Jobs in our first video, he had talked about the this creativity aspect where the connecting things is the creativity, is the innovation, right? Other all things kept aside. Passionate and positive, you have to be very virtuous if you want to enjoy your life. Make your day a dynamic, right, in disciplined way. Follow your discipline but accommodate few new things to make your life happenings that will give you the dopamine in your life, and that help you to keep going without any frustration and tension. You're getting? So these are the basic characteristics. If you can see that the great people, if you can see Mark Zuckerberg, you can see the lifestyle of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates. Their lifestyle is very healthy. They always take appropriate health care of their lives. Jack Ma, if you read their books, you'll find that they always felt their life, right, is all about what we can say their first wealth is their health. You're getting? And so on. So these are the very basic characteristics of what we can say entrepreneurs. Let's understand few habits of entrepreneurs first. Get enough sleep, that has been given by Lewis Howes. This is a YouTube entrepreneur. Invest in yourself, Warren Buffett. You know that Warren Buffett, he's given the entrepreneurs a very basic what we can say advocate, what we can say the mantra, that is invest in yourself. Muhammad Ali, he has always said that work hard. If you want to become successful, always work hard. Journey doesn't matter, but your goal always matters. We always think that journey is painful, enjoy the journey. No, why to enjoy the journey? If you have the objectives in your life, focus on your objectives. Journey is journey, it has to pass. If you stuck in journey, you never reach to your end. So work hard, right? That is the Muhammad Ali says that. Develop discipline. Tom Blair, he says that until unless you are not disciplined, you will not reach to your thing, your goal. And if you are the depending on the motivations will not take you there where the discipline will take. Because motivation is always a what we can say psychological aspect. It doesn't exist in the most of the time. For an example, if you attend some motivational session till coming home and having your lunch, you'll find motivated. After that, you won't get that motivation. Forgive. To whom? First, forgive yourself. Whatever things you have done, whatever mistakes you have done, you have to forgive yourself. Until unless you cannot forgive, you cannot make peace with your past. Until unless you do not make peace with your past, you cannot go free-handedly in your future. Please try to understand. Live in the present. Why it has been called as present? Because it has been presented and it is a kind of gift which we have to use appropriately. So first forgive to yourself, then forgive others. That forgiving your own will give you the strength to forgive others. Stop procrastinating. This is the curse for all the entrepreneurs, right? If you started procrastinating, you will get a big what we can say mountain of work in your life ahead, which may be contradicting, which may be conflicting to one another. So always have the discipline and complete your task in time. Take small actions. It is like climbing the mountain, right? Until unless you cannot take the first step, you cannot put your second step. So work in the small actions. Divide your mission in small chunks of action and make the checklist, and what we can say, see how you can accomplish it. Overcome of doubts will always kill your potential. So whenever you have doubt, what you can do is you can address that doubt by asking And see, seeking help is not a bad thing, or it is not like that Facebook message. You can get help once, and you have to owe for life. It is not required. That is just a, what we can say, runaway loophole that we always find psychologically correct, but it is not correct. We are humans, we are the social animal. Until unless we do not help each other, we cannot live happily. So overcome of doubts by taking help of whoever around you, and go ahead. That has been said by the Brandon. Stay positive. It has been said by Randy Jackson. And stay away from naysayers. This has been naysayers. That is negative people. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said in his success mantras. Take utmost hard work and stay away from naysayers. Naysayers will not always allow you to go ahead in your life. And 10th one is pursue excellence. Excellence, that means consider you are the bestest result as a good, and again check for the best what you can do. That is the pursuit of excellence. It has been given by Robin S. Sharma. Few books I am recommending you: Alchemist, The One Thing, The Think and Grow Rich, Tough Time Never Lasts But Tough People Do, Robert Schuller, my favorite book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Again, these are the very financially or entrepreneurially correct books. How to Win Friends, because you have to have the customers to your entrepreneurial journey, right? How to Win Friends, influencing people. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, as the entrepreneurs are always, they are very disciplined. You have to be very disciplined person to complete each and every task in time. You Can Heal Your Life by Louis Hay. You have to trust in yourself. You have to forgive yourself. You have to take a good care of your health, because health is always the first wealth of any entrepreneur. Who Will Cry When I Die? What is your significance in entire journey? That you have to understand. And Who Moved My Cheese? If you don't work on your ideas, somebody else will steal your idea unknowingly, knowingly, and that part will be deprived from you, and you'll again fail. So Who Moved My Cheese is also one of the important book. What we have to do is, first, this is again a booklet app you can download. The 7 habits, again I am emphasizing that you have to have very vigilant about your habits. Habits will make you successful or fail, right? Habits will take you to the next level, because habits are always come out of your discipline. So you have to find with your habit number 8 to become a good and successful entrepreneur. And what and how you can have your 8th habit, that let's check with this particular point.
You know what the secret of life is? No, what? This. Your finger? One thing. Just one thing. You stick to that and everything else don't mean shit. That's great, but what's the one thing? Gotta figure out.
So figure out your one thing. You're getting one thing that you want to accomplish in your life, that where you want to reach, which would be your the end goal. As rightly said by Swami Vivekananda ji, take up that one idea, leave all other ideas aside, and stick that idea until unless you will not accomplish that particular idea. You will not realize that idea in your life. You're getting? So here I hope I have added that 4th dimension to innovation and entrepreneurship in appropriate manner. You will take the bookish knowledge, but the basic is basic, that required to clear first, and then you can go ahead. You're getting? So this is all about the 4th dimension of entrepreneurship and innovation, and to become a good MBA graduate who can make, right, proud all of us. Thank you. Love yourself, and you can heal your life to become a good person, good professional. Thank you. If you have any query, any question, you can ask. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a really wonderful session. And that's true. Like innovation is the ability to generate and implement new ideas that create value and solve the problems. Yes. So I hope students understand today's session. Students, would you like to ask any queries?
Yes, if you have any doubt, any query, you can ask. I'll love to answer your queries. Yes, I hope I'm still visible to all of you. And
It's okay, sir.
you might have enjoyed my
Yes.
session today. If there is any doubt, I would like to address. Yes,
Students, would you like to ask any question? Okay, then. Thank you, sir.
yes, madam.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
for
much.
such a wonderful session. Have a good day, sir.
Yes, good day, ma'am. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Thanks to ma'am, Ubale sir, Gumse ma'am, and all the staff and all the crew of Matrix for giving me this an opportunity to interact with students. Okay, and see you soon in some other avenues. Thank you.
Definitely. Definitely,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Student, please fill the feedback form of today's session.